Hello everybody, top notch 1B unit 10. We are on this page, spending money. Get the best exchange rate. Exchange rate نرخ ارز. Before you travel to another country, the exchange rate of your currency against the currency of the foreign country you're visiting is really important. If you have to change cash during a trip, there are usually better rates at banks and post offices. However, you will get the best rate if you just get foreign currency at an ATM. But check with your bank before you have leave to make sure you can use your ATM card in the country you are visiting. When possible, use a credit card for larger expenses such as hotel bills, tickets, and car rentals. But be careful, check first to see if your credit card company or bank adds a fee for these transactions. Exchange rate. نرخ ارز. Currency means it's here. Currency means the money in circulation as a means of exchange for a special country. Cash, money in form of bills, especially bills and coins. Foreign currency, it means the money of another country. ATM, this is the ATM. Automated teller machine, this is ATM. Car rentals. Car rentals means companies that rent cars for short time to the public, and fee means the amount of money that you have to pay. transaction چه تراکنش. اوکی. بعضی وقتا بانک شما از اون وقتی پرداخت خارج از یک کشور داشته باشین براتون یه تراکنشی رو محاسبه میکنه. You should be careful about it. Maybe some of the banks do not have this, but some of them include this, so you should be careful while you are going to another country. Let's go to the vocabulary. We're going to listen, then we're going to continue. Number 23.
Spending money. Vocabulary. Financial terms. Listen and repeat in the pauses. An exchange rate.
Cash.
Foreign currency.
An ATM.
Okay.
A fee.
A fee. A fee means the money that you should pay for something. Do you or does anyone you know ever exchange money for foreign currency? When and how? When do people generally use cash? It means the bill. These are the bills. When do they usually use credit card? You see, this is the credit card. You use it in your ATM. Answer the question of these parts. Take a photo and send it to me. Let's go to the dialogue. There is a dialogue. People are talking about shopping, buying souvenir. Souvenir means a gift. And when you go to another city or another country, you buy gifts for your dearest. Let's listen. Then we are going to read it and send it to me.
Page 111. Exercise C. Photo story. Read and listen to people shopping for souvenirs.
Oh no, I'm almost out of cash.
Almost out of cash, it means I don't have much money.
And I want to get a gift for my mom. I sure hope these shops accept credit cards. I'll bet they do. Let's go in here. They have some really nice stuff.
Stuff means things to buy. It means they have good things and you can buy nice, nice things.
And I want to get some souvenirs of our trip. Great. Hey, what do you think of this? It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous, it means wonderful, very beautiful.
It's a bit more than I want to spend.
So she wants to buy a cheaper one. It's expensive, she wants to buy a cheaper one.
Maybe you can get a better price. It can't hurt to ask.
It can't hurt to ask. It means let's go and talk about it. Maybe we can find a cheaper price. We can bargain for it. Bargain and ask for a cheaper amount of cheaper thing.
I don't know. I'm not very good at bargaining.
Bargaining. Bargaining it means you go to the shop and you want to buy something expensive and start talking with the shopkeeper, and you persuade him to sell it to you with less amount of money. You see, it means don't ask. For example, you buy something expensive without paying lots of money. چون نزنی.
Excuse me, maybe I can help. Let me show you something more affordable.
Something more affordable and something cheaper. Let me show you something cheaper.
Oh, that one's nice too. How much do you want for it?
40 euros.
I'll take it. You do accept credit cards, don't you?
Sorry, no. But there is an ATM right across the street.
Okay. Find and underline statements and find the meaning. Still explain them for you what I'm going to say. I prefer something cheaper. For example, you can say it's a bit more than what I want to spend. The shop sells good things. They have some really nice stuff. I don't know how to ask for a lower price. I don't know. I'm not very good at bargaining. I don't have much money. I'm almost out of cash. Don't be afraid to bargain. It can't hurt to ask. Here's a cheaper one. Let me show you something more affordable. Complete the chart with your opinion of advantages and disadvantages of credit cards. What is the advantages of using and one advantage of using credit card? What is the disadvantage? An advantage of cash, it means the bill, and what is the disadvantage? Write it, complete this one, and take a photo, send it to me. Let's go to superlative adjectives. Use superlative adjectives to compare more than two people, places, things, or ideas. Which projector is the cheapest of these three? Superlative adjectives حالتهایی هستن که میخوایم یه چیزی رو از بین چند چیز انتخاب کنیم و بگیم مثلا بهترینه، ارزونترین یا گرونترینه. پس مثلا ما 5 تا آپشن بگ داریم، یکیش از همه گرونترینه. مقایسه به این صورت هست. همیشه از حرف تعریف د استفاده میکنیم و est. اما این فقط در حالتی هستش که صفتی که استفاده میکنیم یک سیلابی باشه، یعنی یک بخشی باشه. چیپ یه بخشه. چیپ به معنی ارزان یه بخشه. پس برای اینکه اون رو با چندین چیز مختلف مقایسه کنیم و از بین همه اونها انتخابش کنیم، قبلش د استفاده میکنیم و بعدش est اضافه میکنیم. حالا اگر همین صفتی که استفاده میکنیم چند بخشی باشه، چیپ یه بخشی، مثل popular بیش از یه بخشه، قبلش از the most استفاده میکنیم و بعدش هم قرار نیست از چیزی استفاده کنیم. the most popular محبوب ترین، the least popular مثلا جایی که اصلا محبوبیت نداره بین بقیه جاها، مثلا استور شاپی که اصلا محبوبیت نداره. Look, which projector is the cheapest of these three? the بعد یه ادجکتیو یک سیلابی آوردم بعدش یه est. کدوم یکی از همه ارزان تره؟ یعنی چند تا آپشن داریم، چند تا گزینه داریم، بین اون ارزان ترین. Which brand are the most popular in your store? میگه کدوم یکی از این برند هایی که دارید the most popular معروف ترینه در فروشگاه شما. the least popular کمتر محبوبیت داره، از همه کم محبوبیتش کمتره. چرا از the most استفاده کردم و از دی و est استفاده نکردم؟ چون popular یه صفت چند بخشیه، پس قبلش یا از the most بیشترین یا the least کمترین استفاده میکنم. the most بیشترین، the least کمترین. adjective comparative superlative وقتی بخوایم یه چیز رو با دو چیز مختلف رو مقایسه کنیم cheaper than اینا رو قبلا داشتیم چیزی که داریم میکنیم این قسمته. superlative the cheapest the nicest. ببینید cheap, nice, easy, big اینا همه یک بخشی هستن. اما superlative ها چی؟ the most comfortable, the least comfortable, the most difficult, the most expensive چند بخشی هستن. پس براش از the most the least استفاده میکنم. توجه داشته باشید که بعدش دیگه هیچ est اضافه نشده. یه نکته مهم هم اینجا هست good, better مقایسه دو چیز، the best مقایسه بین چند چیز، bad, worse than و the worst مقایسه بین چند چیز. پس این نکته رو توجه داشته باشید. The V5 is the newest vacuum cleaner model from Zorex. The Blendex is very expensive. It is the cheapest blender. The lead is very expensive. It is the least cheapest blender as well. Compared to our other washing machines, the Landrex 300 is the easiest to use. Look, the easiest to use. Easy. یک بخش. The Vista RA PX is the lightest webcam you can buy. Our customers say my Juice 500 is the most practical juicer available today. Practical چند بخشی پس از the most استفاده میکنم. You do the rest. Take a photo and send it to me. Complete the conversation. Use the superlative form of the adjectives. All of these cameras are easy to use, but which one is the smallest? All of our ski sweaters are pretty warm, but I want a really heavy one. Which brand makes the heaviest one? She wrote at least 6 books about Italy. I know, but which of her books is the most interesting? Interesting چند بخشی پس از the most استفاده میکنم. Do you want to take a taxi, bus or train to the airport? Which one is the most convenient? چند بخشی the most. You can study English at any school you want, but which school is the best? اینجا رو the best, good, better, the best. Which one is the best? Okay, you do the last part. The last sentence, take a photo and send it. Let's go to the conversation model. Number 27.
Page 113. Conversation model. Exercise A. Read and listen to someone asking for a recommendation.
I'm looking for a pressure cooker. Which is the least expensive?
The Steam 2000, but it's not the best. How much do you want to spend?
No more than $100.
Well, we have some really good ones in your price range.
Great. Could I have a look?
Okay, pressure cooker. ظرف دیگای زودپز. Okay, read this part. Record your voice and send it. Ask for recommendation. You see, there are some options in each part. There are 3 parts. For example, I select this one. You're going to compare the price and the convenience. I'm looking, for example, for a food processor. Which one is the cheapest? Which one is the cheapest? For example, this one. Make a conversation based on these. These are some other options. Complete it, take a photo and send it. Conversation matter. Let's listen. Number 29.
Page 114. Conversation model. Exercise A. Read and listen to someone bargaining for a lower price.
How much do you want for that rug?
This one?
No, that one's not big enough. The other one.
300.
That's a lot more than I want to spend. I can give you 200.
How about 225?
Okay, that sounds fair.
Okay, bargaining, I told you, ask for lower price. Rug, this is a rug. He's going to buy a rug. That sounds fair, that sounds nice. Good. Read this part, record your voice and send it. Two and enough. When something is not satisfactory, when something is not practical, use to plus an adjective or not adjective plus enough. Those rugs are too small, or that camera is too heavy. It means very heavy, but it shows how negative aspect it has. Or we can say those rugs aren't big enough. That camera is not light enough. وقتی یه چیز خیلی معنی منفی بخوایم بهش برسونیم در صورتی که خود جمله مثبته. ببینید روی این سوالا مثبته ولی بار جمله منفیه. Those rugs are too small. این قالی ها خیلی کوچیک هستن. پس بار جمله منفی منظورش اینه که به اندازه کافی بزرگ نیستن. بارش منفیه ولی جمله مثبته. هیچ not any استفاده نکردیم. از to که خودش معنی بار منفی جمله رو داره استفاده کنیم قبل از صفت. too small, too heavy. حالا بعضی وقتا هست که میخوایم به صورت منفی استفاده کنیم. Those rugs aren't big enough. are هموزار not رو نوشتم اینجا. بعد صفت big or light بعدش enough. Those rugs are not big enough میگه اون قالی ها به اندازه کافی بزرگ نیستن. به اندازه کافی نیستن. چی؟ بزرگ. This coffee maker is small enough. Small enough یعنی به اندازه کافی کوچیک هست. I'll take it. میخرمش. These are some adjectives. We are going to complete this part. Read a conversation between customer and salesperson. Then complete each conversation. Use to or enough. My photocopier is. I'm ready for an upgrade. My photocopier is too slow. I'm ready for an upgrade. These jeans aren't. They are very uncomfortable. I'm so sorry. Let me get you a larger size. These jeans aren't big enough. Big enough. I like these portable speakers, but they really aren't light enough for travel. But they aren't really light enough for travel. You complete this part, take a photo and send it. Let's go to the pronunciation based on the intonation. For clarification, how do you want to voice the intonation? Listen. After listening, record your voice and send it to me. Please remember 31.
Page 115. Pronunciation. Rising intonation for clarification. Exercise A. Use rising intonation to ask for clarification. Read and listen. 1.
Could I have a look at those bowls?
These small ones?
No, the big ones.
2.
How much is that vase?
This green one?
That's right.
Now listen again and repeat in the pauses.
Could I have a look at those bowls?
These small ones?
No, the big ones.
How much is that vase?
This green one?
That's right.
Okay, now you read conversation about the sunglasses. Based on the information in this part, record your voice and send it to me, please. How to bargain. Let's listen.
Page 115. Vocabulary. How to bargain. Exercise A. Read and listen. Buyer's language.
How much do you want for that shawl? That's more than I want to spend. I can give you 20 for it. Would you take 30? All I have is 40. It's a deal.
Seller's language.
How much do you want to spend? I could go as low as 70. I can't go lower than 60. You can have it for 50. How about 45? It's a deal.
It's a deal, it means it's
Now
okay.
listen again and repeat in the pauses.
It's a deal means it's okay.
How much do you want for that shawl? That's more than I want to spend. I can give you 20 for it. Would you take 30? All I have is 40. It's a deal.
How much do you want to spend? I could go as low as 70. I can't go lower than 60. You can have it for 50. How about 45? It's a deal.
Okay, let's go to the next part. Listen to people bargain, complete each statement with the amount they agreed on. The buyer pays for the, let's listen, number 33.
Page 115. Exercise B. Listen for details. Listen to people bargain. Complete each statement with the amount they agreed on and the type of item. Conversation 1.
How much do you want for that vase?
The green one? You can have it for 35.
35? That's more than I want to spend.
Well, I can go as low as 30. But that's it.
Okay, it's a deal.
Conversation 2.
That's a nice chair. Would you take 75 for it?
This one?
No, that one's too big, the smaller one.
You can have it for 90.
How about 80?
Sorry, I can't go lower than 90.
Are you sure?
Sorry.
Okay, it's a deal. Is there an ATM nearby?
Conversation 3.
How much is that bowl?
The big one?
That's right.
How much do you want to spend?
I can give you 20 for it.
How about 25?
Sorry, all I have is 20.
There's an ATM right around the corner.
There is? Okay, it's a deal.
So they were talking about 20 and 25.
Conversation 4.
How much do you want for that bag?
95.
95? I can give you 70.
Sorry, that's not enough. I can go lower than 90.
Well, all I have is 80.
How about 85?
Sorry, all I have is 80.
It's a very nice bag.
It really is. I can give you cash.
Cash? Well, okay, it's a deal.
So I told you, it's a deal means that's right. That's okay. In order to express that you agree, you say it's a deal. Imagine that you are in a place where bargaining is common. One of you is the buyer and the other is the seller. Use the vocabulary and the photos for your own ideas. You can use them, make a conversation, and bargain on the price. Uh, Write it, take a photo, and send it. Let's go to the reading section. It's about how much you can pay as a tip. Tip means the money that, for example, you can give to a servant in order to appreciate their help. Let's go. Number 34.
Page 116. Reading. Read and listen. When should I tip? It's the question every traveler asks.
In some countries around the world, you never have to tip. But in most countries, at least 180 of them, tipping is customary, and the rules can be quite complicated.
Restaurants.
In the US, restaurant servers expect a tip of 15 to 20% of the check, depending on how satisfied you are with the service. In most other countries, however, it's about 10%. In the US, you leave your tip on the table, but in Austria and Germany, it's considered rude if you don't hand the tip directly to the server. In Europe, restaurants almost always add a service charge to the check, so you don't need to leave a separate tip. But in the US, a service charge is only added for groups of 6 or more people, so it's a good idea to look carefully at your check.
Taxis.
In the US and Canada, taxi drivers expect a tip of 15% of the taxi fare. However, in South America and many European countries, you don't usually tip taxi drivers. Instead, you can round off the fare and say, keep the change.
Okay, round of the change. It means you can say, okay, the rest is okay. That's for you. Keep the change. The rest is for you. I don't need it.
For example, if the fare is 3.8 euros, you just round it off to 4 euros.
Yeah.
Hotels.
What about the porter who carries your luggage? In Australia, you tip about $3 Australian, $2 US per bag. But in most countries, a tip of about $1 US is fine. You can also leave about $1 to $2 US a day for the housekeeper who cleans your hotel room. So check the internet for information on tipping customs before you travel. And remember, you never have to tip if the service is terrible.
Okay, look at this part. These are the countries that you never tip in them: Japan, Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and Vietnam. Let's go. Circle the answers to each question according to the information in the reading. Then explain. In which country is tipping is customary? Thailand, New Zealand, Australia. You can have more than one right answer, two answers. You see, in these countries, in Thailand and New Zealand, we cannot have tips. So C and D are correct. Which countries do they almost always add a service charge to restaurant bills? Take a look at here. Restaurants. In the US and in Europe, restaurant almost always add service charge to the check in Europe. So which one? France is is a European country. Germany is a European country. C and A can be answered. Okay, and you answer this one. Let me see what we have. In these countries, should you never leave a tip? Look at this part based on this part. In US, Japan, Germany, and Australia. In Japan, you shouldn't leave a tip. So the answer is Japan. Read each person questions. Give advice according to the reading. This is for you. You read this one, for example. My class is flying to a sport event in Canberra, Australia. Next, I have two large bags. Is a porter. It means the server. You see, he's a porter. If the porter helps me, how much should I tip? You see, in Australia, take a look at hotels. In Australia, you should tip about uh, $3 per bag. So complete the information of each part based on the information that we just read in the text. Write it, write each one near each quotation, take a photo and send it to me. Imagine that you are visiting one of the countries in the reading. Describe a situation in restaurant, taxi, hotel. So select one of the countries that we studied in this text. For example, as destination for your travel destination. How much should you pay for restaurant, taxi, and hotel? Write it here, take a photo, and send it to me. How have you shown appreciation to someone for good service? For example, someone has good service. You want to say thank you. How would you do that? You tip left tip, have a gift, say thank you, or wrote a thank you note. Send an email, anything else, write it here. You see, in this part there is an example. Last year I went to a restaurant and the waiter was really nice. At the end of the meal I spoke to the manager about his great service. Complete this part, take a photo and send it. Write suggestion to a visitor to your country. Imagine there is a visitor which comes to Iran. For how to show appreciation. For example, when you have good restaurant service, what would you do? Taxi drivers, do you pay leave tip? Hotel keepers, hotel luggage porters, airport luggage porters, anything else, write it here. Based on the information in Iran, you are going to give someone information about how to leave tips. Okay, let's go to the vocabulary here. Wait a minute, I should find it. Wait.